Well, do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
Welcome to the Mouthpiece, episode 104. Today we're going to talk about, 105. We're going to talk about everything. It's been about a month. We're going to talk about sports, NBA trade, Super Bowl, my poker, politics, whatever you want. The Mouthpiece is next. What up, everybody? Welcome to the Mouthpiece. It's been about a month. Well, we had about a 2-week ban by YouTube because of one of my episodes. I talked about the vaccines or something, which all ended up being true. So the communists, took down my channel for 2 weeks. I then had a bad losing streak. I made some mistakes, and I lost about 200,000 straight, and it mentally affected me a lot. Everybody who knows me well knows how I take things when things are going bad, and it was pretty hard on me. It wasn't in No Limit Hold'em. I jumped in a big mixed game. It's not even that big, really, like 150, 300 online. And, I'm not saying anything was funny in the game, but I don't know. Something just felt wrong. I just never won a pot no matter what I did. I'd fold for 2 hours and just lose every hand. It made no sense to me. I don't even know where to begin. And I got away from, what's made me the person I am today, which is money management, game selection. And listen, I got called out, my ego kind of got to me. People are saying shit like, oh, you can't beat the big mix games, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then what happened was our game got kind of really good for a while. And like I was telling you guys, I'm like one of the top 3 best players in the game. So I always have to get up. And so it kind of snowballed. It all started when I took a big loss with Phil playing table games, which I never do. And then I lost like about 100 in our game. And I was struggling to get into the game and play many hours. So I jumped in the mixed game because I was, kind of jonesing, wanting to get my money back. And I thought I played good. I mean, did I play great? No, probably not. But, I mean, I could literally show you guys like videos and pics of some of these hands that I got stacked in. And believe it or not, I lost like of the 165 that I lost, like I lost 60 in Big O. I mean, I'm like one of the top 5 Big O Omaha high-low players in the world. And I mean, I get stacked in hands that are just impossible to get stacked in. It's like 2,500 cap Big O. And, I mean, I'm like getting it in pre-flop with ace, ace, deuce, 3, king, ace, ace, 3, 4, king, ace, deuce, 3, king, king. And I'm up against, like, bad ace deuces and getting stacks, like running it twice, just getting, stacked both times. And, I mean, I ran really bad. I mean, I lost like 60 in the Big O and like 100 in the 150, 300. But, I don't know, man. This is the same site I lost big in 2016. And I'm not saying anything's wrong. I just feel, listen, I've had 2 losing months in my life playing mixed games. One is because I went broke. in 26 years. And the biggest losses I've ever taken have been on this site. And listen, I'm just done with it. I'm not saying anything's wrong, but it just felt wrong. I mean, I just fold, enter a hand, they 3-bet me with some dog shit, and they hit the flop. And it just felt weird. Things just felt weird, But I watched, there's some really good players that I play in the game that I respect, and they play as tight as I do and solid as I do, and they just win every day, So it is streaky, and, maybe because I haven't played mix in a while, maybe I paid off too much. But I mean, even if you pay off the extra 300 on the end, like an extra 10 times that you shouldn't have, like that's 3,000. That's not 120,000. So, I've gone back to my roots. I'm playing no limit every day. I've grinded back about 50,000 the last couple weeks. And I'll get it back, and I think I'm playing pretty good. I'm not locked in where I was in the no limit because I took like 11 days off. But no, it's not ACR. It's a private room, private game. You guys, I don't really want to talk about it, but I do have a bet. Well, let's talk about some good. Let's not talk no negativity anymore. So things are looking up a little bit. Like I said, I've won about 50 back, and I'm okay. I just made some mistakes, and I thought the mistakes were over for me, and I made some mistakes. So, anyways, let's talk about some of the high stakes action going on. I don't know if you noticed, I've been tweeting a little bit out at Nick Airball because Blank Check Ben was playing them, and so me and Blank Check Ben plays in the game with me, and we're pretty friendly, really super nice guy, and so he asked me to tweet out so I talk some shit to Nick, and then Blank Check Ben stacks him for an 825K pot. So, I get a text this morning. He goes, "I got him, Mike. I got him." And he's, showing me the video, and it was just amazing. And, I like him a lot, and I like Nick a lot, too. But the thing about Nick, and I noticed this because me and Nick played together. He was in town for Super Bowl weekend. Mariano, I think, plays a little too fast. And I was able to pick up something on him. We could talk about that. Have we had a show since we've had a show since I played, I think. So yeah, I played down Hustler Casino Live that week. I won like 66,000. I played with Mariano, and I picked up something on him. And once I picked up something on him, it was, it was pretty good, easy to play against. I didn't. Okay, so yeah, I was down in LA, played 3 days, and I won 66,000. I was there the 23rd through the 28th, I think it was. And thanks, bro. Nice to meet you, Frank. And so, that was a good week there. And that kind of, got back a lot of my losses. And then I won back. I lost about 300. I won back about 150. So, I'm a little bit down. But, as you guys know, I told you, I had a year and a half where I had 3 losing weeks. So, I expected to lose. But most of it, honestly, you guys, I can't say I ran bad that I lost. Everything was self-inflicted. Even when I lost like 130 straight playing in my private game, I after I won big at the live at Hustler Casino, where I don't know if you guys watched the stream, I played pretty fast, and I kind of felt like I dominated. And then when I went back to the app, I played a little too fast, playing deep, and I got stacked like a bunch of times, and I got away from my game. I just didn't get defensive enough playing deep. Got set over, set it, and in a hand where if I play it right, maybe I lose. Maybe I lose like 15 or 20 in a hand. I lost like 35, and so a lot of the losses were self-inflicted. So, it is what it is. As I told you guys, also, I was a big Cincinnati fan. And I told you, I said they were going to win the Super Bowl. And then the Buffalo week came up, and I was real worried about the offensive line. And then they dominated Buffalo. So I made a pretty big sports bet on Cincinnati against that. This is kind of where everything went downhill. I bet Cincinnati against KC. And the offensive line was just terrible in the first quarter. But I still felt that they were going to win that game 99 out of 100 times. The coaching was absolutely terrible. To punt it to nobody talks about them punting it to the guy in the middle of the field so they could even get 27 yards, so they could even have any chance to get a field goal. But listen, so I bet, I usually bet 1,000 on a game. I ended up betting like 8,000 on Cincinnati. I ain't made a bet that big in 7 years. So that got me back to reality, and back to no more betting over $1,000. But that's typical, my typical sports betting life in a nutshell. The way I lost that game. So listen, it is what it is. Super Bowl was pretty good. I bet 1,000 on Kansas City and 1,000 on the over, and I lost 2,000 on the game. And that's the last time I've made a sports bet, by the way. You're probably asking, how did I do that? Well, at halftime, when Mahomes re-injured his ankle, I said to myself, the Eagles should be up 100 in this game. They're up 10. They should be up like 20. And I bet double on the Eagles at halftime. So I had the winner and the side end total, and lost 2,000 on the Super Bowl. So that was my last sports bet I made, and I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm doing everything right. I'm grinding my no limit game. No more fucking around. It's funny is so many people like the under in this Super Bowl. And I kept saying, I really believed what Ioke for San Francisco said when he said the Eagles' defense is soft, and they had a plan to exploit it, and they played any good team, they couldn't stop them, and I believed that. And Kansas City just ran right through them. And listen, if the Frisco don't lose their quarterback, the Eagles don't win that game. I mean, let's be honest. So, Super Bowl was good, fun to watch. And, going to the NBA, a lot of trades at the deadline. I really like what my Lakers did. And I think they're a very dangerous team if they get in. I have $1,000 at 50-1 for them to win the title. I don't know if you guys saw what Pat Riley said a week ago after the Lakers made all those trades. He said the Lakers improved their team more than any other team and are going to be a very tough out and have a great chance to win the title. Pat Riley said it. You can go look it up. So, I love the way they've looked the last two games. I mean, LeBron and AD had 25 points yesterday, and they still won by 20. They're going to be tough. And these next two are going to be very, this game against Dallas coming up on Sunday. and then they come back on Tuesday against Memphis. That's going to tell you a lot about the Lakers. Their defense looks so much better, and this guy that what's his name that scored 25 yesterday. He's a great defender and a great shooter. Hopefully they're going to be pretty good. So I'm really interested to see how Durant going to the Suns has to make them the favorite, but they lost the best on-ball defender in the league. I think the Clippers are really good. I mean, they pick up a superstar in Westbrook. And let's be honest. I mean, Westbrook is the sixth man of the year. You bring a guy of that talent off the bench for the Clippers, or even as a big three, because, Paul George is a shooting forward, and Leonard's a shooting guard. And you bring a Russell Westbrook to that team. I mean, I think they're really, really, really dangerous. I actually think that the West is really loaded. We'll talk about Phil's live stream here in a second, too. I think the West is really loaded. It's really going to be interesting if Giannis had a bad injury. He had a knee injury yesterday. We don't know how bad it is. I do have a $1,000 bet with Ryan Feldman. He has the Sixers to go farther than the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Bucks have won, 13 in a row or something like that? I mean, if Giannis is healthy, the pickup of Crowder is exactly what the Bucks needed. I don't see anybody beating the Bucks. I mean, if Giannis is healthy, I mean, they got a 3-and-D guy in Jay Crowder. That's exactly what that team needed. Holiday and Middleton, they're good, man. They're a really good team. So, I mean, honestly, people say, the Warriors when Steph gets back. The Warriors have no depth whatsoever, and their defense sucks. And even though they traded for Peyton, he won't even be around until the playoffs, if he gets into the playoffs. So, I don't know. I really think that it's the Bucks or the Sixers. I mean, I don't think the Sixers can beat the Bucks. I really don't. Harden's a puke. When playoffs come around, he's a puke. The East is really. It got pretty. It's not as, Cleveland's good, but they're not a top team. So I think it's going to be the Bucks, and the West is wide open. I mean, I think it could be. I don't think that the Dallas is deep enough, even though Kyrie and Doncic are going to be impossible to guard in the playoffs. But they don't play defense. They lost their best defender and They gave away their best defender in Finney Smith. I just don't think they're deep enough. I think it's really going to be the Suns, the Clippers, and I think the Lakers have a good chance if they get in. And I don't know how they don't get in. I mean, really, all they have to do is, let's see, they have 22 games left. If they go 15-7, they're in. So, I don't see how they don't. I mean, they have the fifth easiest schedule. So, we'll see. They're just old. I mean, Draymond just looks old. I know Draymond personally. I met him through Phil, and I play poker with him a lot. I used to play poker with him a lot, but I haven't in a while. But he's a really nice guy, and he's a good guy and great player. But I always told Phil the Warriors go as far as Draymond takes them. Because as good as Steph Curry is, Draymond's defense and passing has always been the key to that team. And he got old, man. His defense looks like shit. He admits it. He said it. He's been playing like shit. Now, if he turns it around, Steph gets healthy, the starting five is pretty fucking good. So the West is wide open. As good as Joker is and as good as Murray is, I don't know if the Denver can win the West. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a 3-team race. I know this sounds crazy, but I think it's the Clippers, the Suns, or the Lakers. I mean, I know I'm being maybe a partisan with the Lakers, but I think the Lakers really improved their team. I mean, they got Russell and what's the guy's name that scored 25 yesterday? He's second in the league in 3-point shooting. I didn't even know that. You know, baseball with the new rule is a complete joke, absolute joke with the new rule. Really, they're going to take 10 minutes or 12 minutes off the game time, and then they're going to like call strikes on people for taking too long to swing. It's just, they're ruining the game. They're changing the way the game's played to save 10 minutes. It's absolutely the dumbest thing in the history of sports. Truly, it's the dumbest thing. Like, it's only going to save 10% of the game. So if it's 2 hours and 30 minutes, it's going to be 2 hours and 13 minutes. I mean, really? 3-hour game is going to go down to 2. They're going to save like 20, 25 minutes and ruin the game. Like, I like the baseball. I like sitting in a 4-hour baseball game. I don't know. That's just me. Anyways, let's talk about Phil's live streams. I heard you guys wanted to bring up. Now, we all know that that Phil didn't play his best. You know, he played terrible. And the thing is, because of his ego, like, both days, like, I ripped into him, like, what are you doing? You know? And the first day, he's like, I was just tired. I didn't sleep. He goes, but I'll be ready tomorrow. You know, and we had a long talk, and he was all ready to play. I really thought he was going to play well, and then he just played bad, you know. And Phil's biggest problem is he sucks up to what people say. He worries about what people says, you know. Phil plays fine deep when he buys in small and gets deep. When Phil starts out buying deep and he gets stuck, he's an emotional person. It's not that Phil can't play deep. He's just emotional, and he can't control his emotions. If he buys in for 20 and he's up 200, he's not going to be emotional when he loses 20,000. But when he buys in for 300 and gets stuck 30, he gets emotional and finds himself playing bad. Now, listen, I told Phil that those King's hand was the worst hand he's ever played in his life, and then he argued with me for hours and then finally admitted I was right, you know. He played another hand bad recently on another stream that's coming up, and he argued with me for 2 hours that he didn't play it bad. And after 2 hours, he admitted. You know, getting Phil to admit things, you know, is very hard. You know, it's as close as friends as I am with him, and we have a lot of talks and stuff. I just, you know, when I do things that are wrong, I expect him to take the criticism and know what I'm talking about. When I do things bad, I expect the same. And so, you know, when he really played bad, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And
are you crazy, Phil?
And so, you know, if you see what Nick Vertucci put out on his, I don't know if you saw the thing he said about Phil. He's 100% right. Phil's got 16 bracelets. He's the only person in history to win the main event Europe and the main event WSOP. He's won $30 million playing tournament poker. He's a big winner on live streams. He doesn't have to prove nothing to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. He doesn't have to prove nothing to anyone. And so, you know, for him to listen to Eric Person making him buy in for $300,000, it's like, why? He doesn't need to. What does he need to prove? You know, and it's, you know, it's just Phil just doesn't need to. He's so worried about what other people think. That's his biggest problem. Is he hates when people criticize him. And a lot of the criticizing, you know, he brings on himself, and he deserves, but he just doesn't need to. And he's okay, and he's a good guy. You know, he's a good person, and he, you know, one of my top two best friends, and you know, that's all I got to say is, you know, Phil played like shit, you know, and he knows it, and it happens. And everybody, just remember, everybody compares their A game to the other person's F game. Every time they, thanks guys. Every time they think about Phil, they think about those two hands he played, you know. And that's it. No, the 1.9 million pot wasn't set up. Don't listen to Prahlad. Prahlad's lost his fucking mind, by the way. You know, I'm texting with him, and you know, I consider Prahlad a good friend. You know, we're complete opposite politically, but I consider him a good friend. He's going through some tough times right now, and I think that because of, you know, him going through some tough times right now, he sees these big pots, and I think deep down he wishes he was playing in them, and he's not, and he's like, oh, they're fake, and all this, and they're all this, and I'm like, dude, I'm good friends with the people who run Hustler Casino. I play in the games all the time. Okay, there's nothing fake. There's nothing going on. It's like the people that say, oh, online poker's a big setup. They're setup hands. No, they're not. You just play more hands. You know, just the way poker is. You know, you see big pots, and it is. Listen, I knew Eric Person was going to struggle on the show. He's playing against killers. When you try and push the action against killers, you're only going to get the action when they have it. And so, you know, but there's nothing, I don't want to say nothing bad about Eric Person. It's like, he's a nice guy. Everybody says he's a really nice guy, you know, and just because it's like people will watch him punt or play bad and, oh, he plays badass, or who gives a shit, you know? The guy's got a lot of money, and if he wants to lose millions, who cares? At least he's out there playing, you know? I got nothing bad to say about Eric Person, you know? I don't know him, but, you know, I have friends that play with him, and they say he's a really nice guy. And that he says so many people suck up to him, you know, and because he has money, and it's like, just be normal, be nice, you know? It's like, he's been playing the mixed game, and 4,000 mix, and he got out in front, I guess, like 1.5 million, and now he's about 5. I don't know what he's winning. He's still winning, but, you know, he's not that good a mixed game player. But the fact that he's going in and playing the best and trying to learn the mixed games, you know, I give Eric Person a lot of respect for that. So, you know, money doesn't make a person, you know, money doesn't do shit, you know, it's what kind of person you are inside. So it's really all that matters to me. So I do have a little bet, and I think I might lose, but I made a bet with Blank Check Ben that Airball would lose tonight. I actually 1% cross-booked him, so if Airball wins 200, I have to pay $4,000 to Blank Check Ben. If he loses 200, he's got to give me 4,000. Last I heard, Airball cooler jungle for 100K with top two versus a flush. So right now it looks like I might lose 2,000, but we'll see. You know, I'm friends with most of these people that play on these streams. They're all good people. And so when people accuse people of cheating or things being rigged or whatever, it just annoys me because, you know, they're hurting very good people, you know, and it really bothers me. Okay, what else would we talk about? We've talked about the NBA. We talked about Super Bowl. We've talked about my losing streak. We've talked about Phil's stream. We've talked about... we haven't talked any politics. There ain't really much to talk about. I mean, the left has become the pro-war party. They used to be love and no war, and now they're hate and all war. So I don't know. I mean, I got a pretty big bet that Biden doesn't run again, and now they're saying that he might not run again. And I'm just like, how is he going to run again? I mean, the guy can't walk. He can't put two sentences together. I don't know how he's going to run. But if he does run again, I'm going to lose 40,000 because I laid 20-1. He wasn't going to run again. Trump is drawing dead. I bet 5,000 with Phil. Phil says that Trump is going to win the presidency. I laid him 3-1. Trump is not going to win the party. I really like Vivek Ramaswamy. I like him a lot. I think his message is great. I think it's uplifting. He's worth $600 million. He doesn't need. He could finance his entire campaign on his own. I mean, I think he's worth a lot more money than Trump. Okay, I mean, he's worth $600 million, and he actually is worth $600 million. Trump says he's a billionaire. He might be worth $200 million, if that. Listen, a lot of people I follow on the right, they're like diehard Trump people, but I'm over like Trump is like, Ron DeSanctimonious and Ron this and Ron that. It's like that shit worked in 2016 against establishment people. Like you're trying to take down like a guy who's really good for the Republican Party. I mean, he's just like calls them names like a 2-year-old. I mean, that shit worked before people knew who Trump was. Nobody wants that anymore. And so, yeah, all the politicians are nuts on both sides. I agree. And so like, I truly do not believe Trump will be the nominee. I really don't. And I don't believe, if he is a nominee, I don't believe he has any chance. So that's my opinion, And there's a lot of diehard Trumpies out there. And listen, did the media fuck Trump over? Yeah. Did they treat him like shit? Yeah. Did they lie? Yeah. Everything they say a lie? Yeah. Okay. But you gotta be an adult. He acts like a 2-year-old, and nobody wants a 2-year-old, I don't think he's a con man. I just think he's a fucking 2-year-old, I don't know. I just can't. It's just, I mean, you got a guy running the country now should be in diapers. Literally should be, it's elder abuse what they're doing to this man. It's just disgusting, actually. And then you have another guy running that should be in diapers because he's a 2-year-old. And that's Trump. So, it is what it is. And I'm just being honest. There's a lot of people here on the right that will follow me that might disagree. And, the Republicans ain't going to win shit, okay? As long as they have ballot harvesting and mail-in ballots, they're never winning anything. If the Republicans learn how to ballot harvest, like the Democrats, maybe they got a chance. But I'm just being honest, It's just the truth. Anyways, all right. We've been talking for a half hour. Let's take some phone calls. See what y'all want to talk about. 702-329-0480.
The Mouthpiece.
If you'd like to take part in our phone call segment, you can give us a call at 702-329-0480. And if you're a snowflake or a pussy and you don't want to talk to me, you can email me at mouthpiecepodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow me at the Matusow on Twitter for times that our call-in segment will be live.
702-329-0480. Give me a call. Tell me what you want to talk about today. We talk about sports, football, politics, hockey, baseball, poker. World Series is what? So March 1st, so March, April, 3 months away. Wow, this year has gone by so fast. It's unbelievable. It really is. Yeah. But, yeah, they're not going to win that lawsuit, Brandon. Don't worry about it. Anyways, what's funny is everything that I was accused of being a conspiracy theorist about has come true. I told you guys what the vaccines were. Okay. Now they've proven that it's 10 times more protection if you get COVID than the vaccine. Yet Big Pharma pushed boosters and all that shit on everything. It's just a joke. It's really a joke. You will see what really happened on January 6th come out once that footage is released, and you're going to see a whole different side now with the other side in power. And because you guys got to understand, it's all political theater. When one side's in power, they're a bunch of actors. They put this whole presentation together. Then the other side puts their presentation together. It's all political theater, and they're one big uniparty. There's no Democrats and Republicans, okay? They just they tell you what you want to believe. They tell Brandon what he wants to believe, and then they get everybody angry to go out and vote, and then they laugh and they go to lunch and dinner together and they laugh. Ha ha. We're gonna tell the public this. Ha ha ha. We're gonna tell them this. Ha ha ha. It's all bullshit. They're all a bunch of fucking lying actors. They're just a bunch of bullshit. So, I don't. I just know what politics is, and I try not to get too involved or get too upset over it. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. What's going on?
What's going on, Mike?
Who's this?
Nothing. This is Rich. Nothing going on over here. Just kind of bored watching. Saw your channel on.
Yeah.
I was wondering the world seems kind of crazy. Maybe it's just my viewpoint of it. It just seems like everything's kind of just different from how I remember it. Like, what do you think about if you had like a 12-year-old son and he wanted to cut his penis off? I mean,
I'm with you on this. The right has to defeat the gender ideology. We must defeat gender ideology. And I think we can defeat the gender ideology, And listen, when you're 18 years old, if you want to fucking be a girl, that's fine. But what they're pushing on these kids, can you look back when you were 10 years old, right? Or 11 or 12. Like, I didn't even know what sex was until I think I was like 13.
Well, I just think that social media is like, I remember like back in the day, it was a big deal when I went over to my friend's house and he had an older brother and he showed us Playboys. It was just like, it was just like the craziest thing ever.
Right.
I mean, now you're going on, you're 12 years old, you're confused and you're watching female porn with your stepsister is doing her mom.
Yeah. And that's the problem.
I don't even really
Pornhub should be illegal. I mean, you should need an ID to join any type of porn. Okay, you must 18. You must you cannot log in without an ID.
But I mean, there's no way to really enforce the internet. Just like there'll always be ways to get around.
I disagree.
There's VPNs. There's other countries. So I mean,
all right, let's look at it this way. Okay, I can't play fantasy sports in Nevada. Okay. I can't play internet poker outside of Nevada. Don't tell me they can't fucking stop it. They can stop it in a minute, okay? And
maybe they can officially stop it, but don't tell me that you were not playing poker before it was legal.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying
you can just get a VPN into some other country.
But are young kids? How many young kids are going to be going and getting a VPN at 11 and 12 years old to watch porn? See what I'm saying? They're not that smart. And the thing is I look back when I was 16, right? And when we wanted to go to a movie, like an R-rated movie, like we had to have an adult go with us just to see an R-rated movie. And now they're telling like 10, 11, 12-year-olds you could be a girl or you could be a boy or you could be whatever.
Yeah.
And
the thing is like I don't even really blame. It's hard to really blame like the younger generation because it's like so. It's a confusing time, but it seems like I don't understand like the traditionalism.
I don't either, bro. I don't. I think that. Listen, I think Matt Walsh is right. You can't be easy on this subject and be the nice person because they're fucking grooming these kids. They're telling these kids at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you could be a girl, that you're not, whatever you're born is not your gender. Just because you have a penis doesn't mean you're not I mean, it's just crazy. It's insane is what it is.
Yeah. Okay? I was watching something there was something where this Disney executive was talking about, they're pushing they were talking to their own company. And then they were basically saying, there's this lady and she's like, well, I have one transgender boy and I have one non-binary. I'm like,
I mean,
where's that influence coming from?
It's coming from their parents.
What's in common?
You see these videos. Oh, my boy, he's trans. He's 5 years old, right? Because he likes to play with dolls. So now she's dressing him up and she's saying he's a girl. Like, really, at 5 years old? I didn't even know. I remember the farthest I could think back is like my fifth birthday party with a bunch of friends. I didn't know what anything was but toys and playing. I mean, really, are you a boy? This is insanity, and I just think that I don't know where it goes from here. I don't know if you heard. Did you hear like Putin's speech to his like State of the Union speech like 4 days ago? Like he talks about that.
Just a little bit of it.
You know, everything they say Putin is like crazy and he's a madman. You know, we started this war. We started this war in 2014. Okay, we have pushed.
It's much more complex. I mean,
it's
like
so much more complex.
In wars, there's never really like all one side's good. It's really a complicated thing where there's 2014. There was this supposed. They said like even though like they said that we did a coup.
When we did the coup,
Russia was playing around the boxes too.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's kind of all muddied and it's like. But I agree, it's more complicated.
It's way more. It's not an unprovoked attack on Ukraine, like the media will tell you. They all use it. They're told what to say. Brutal invasion. So every single newscaster uses brutal invasion. It's like they're all one big fucking. Our media is so corrupt, it's like a joke. But listen, that war is being pushed by the United States for a reason, okay? And it's like we started out, they're like, we're going to help out the Ukrainians as much as we can. No, we're not giving any F-15s. No, we're not giving any tanks. That would be World War III. Now you have that scumbag McConnell and fucking the Biden, we're all in. The most important thing in the world right now is the war in Ukraine, okay? Ukraine is the top 3 most corrupt countries in the world, okay? It's like there's so much more that you're not being told. And the truth of the matter is one thing I agree with one guy I follow on the right is if you believe anything that's coming from the media and you're not thinking for yourself and doing your own research, you're just a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because the media.
The traditional like NBC like 2 news anchors. I mean that's like I don't even know who even watches that, but like there's a huge swath of people that and they just like say the same things, and you got to try to find somewhat independent sources a little bit as much as best you can. But
the fact that. Like, listen, I know, like, what happened in Ohio, it's being politicized. The big derailment in Ohio and how bad it is, okay? And it is bad, okay? But you have to, I'm not an idiot, I know that the right is pushing, all he cares about is Ukraine. He doesn't care about the people, Well, there's a lot of not truth to that. They do care. They just... did they need Trump to go down there before they decided to give them money and then for Buttigieg to go down there?
I thought Buttigieg was your favorite.
It's not my favorite. It's Matt Glance's fucking butt buddy. Matt Glantz has a fucking a fucking affair. He wishes he would divorce his fucking husband so Matt could fuck him. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just kidding. But
it's crazy times, and it's just really, it's like you got to think about like people's psyche. Like I see myself as somewhat like in control of like my psyche, and I'm getting upset. You can't imagine like just like people sitting at home, cat lady, 12 cats. It's got to be going crazy, and it's like I don't. This is what just driving people crazy.
You hit it right on the nose.
At the end of the day,
this is what COVID was done on purpose, okay? And it's because it was like an experiment. They lock everybody in their house. They addict everybody to social media. They brainwash you at what they tell you, right? And then everybody repeats those talking points. It was only a year ago where the left is telling everybody, if you're not vaccinated, you're killing people. You remember that? It's a pandemic of the unvaccinated. That was all a lie. And
So you're saying that there was like Alex Foxen? That guy's going to have no chance of dying from COVID.
Correct.
And like the people are going after him like he's like some
Alex
sort of like
Foxen
the guy's
and Christy
like 29
Picknell
and he's in shape.
And Jeff Madsen and Ashley from Texas were 100% correct. You know, I wish I never took, like when I lift my arm, I lift it this high, it still hurts from when I got the injection. And
now
I wish I never got it.
Now, like if I was your doctor, like I'm not saying like certain people might have been like if you're Sean Deeb, you should probably get the shot. I mean,
agree.
I don't know.
I agree. I think that if you're overweight, okay, or you have underlying conditions, you're better off. I think the vaccine the upside outweighs the downside. Okay, but when they fucking put all these colleges, have you seen New York University? You must be fucking double boosted and with a COVID shot to come this semester. Really? When the science has already proved that it's worse for you, that it just doesn't make sense. You know,
I think Bill Maher's actually, like, if you don't like him or don't like him, I think he's pretty reasonable.
I love Bill Maher, and you know what? Because he's a classic liberal. Okay, I have a classic liberal. Yeah, are the liberals crazy? Yeah, okay, but he's not a crazy liberal. He's a normal Democrat. The way the Democrats used to be. Okay, and they're like, you have people on the left saying Bill Maher is a right winger now. I mean, can you believe that? I mean, are you kidding me? You know?
Yeah.
And same with Elon Musk, you know? Has Elon Musk been red-pilled? Yeah, he's been red-pilled, but he's not a right-winger. He still believes in most of liberal values that he's always believed in. He just doesn't believe in the transgender ideology on kids. He doesn't believe in wars. You know, but the left has always been the anti-war party, and now all of a sudden they're all pro-war. Like it's unbelievable that the power of the media has over people, and
you know what's strange is like you think about like Trump, right? And you're kind of like, I don't know this for a fact, but it seems to me like Trump would basically, this war would not be going on if Trump was out. He would
no way.
He would understand that this would be all like, it'd be some sort of like complicated.
He
Vietnam
told fucking
again.
Putin if he invaded Ukraine,
he would say Ukraine, you got to give up some, you got to like give up some land, or you got to not have, you can't be in NATO. There's got to be something, right? But that war would not.
The
occur.
Donbass region,
he would make some deal.
The region the Donbass region and the other region are all right-wing pro-Russia areas. Okay. Let me explain what it is. It's kind of like, what's the farthest right state in our country?
I understand the history a little bit.
Okay,
so
let's
it's
just
complicated.
Let's just say
there was a war. There was a.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's just say Nebraska or Utah, where Oklahoma, whatever, the farthest right country. Okay, that's what the Donbass region is. Okay, and they don't want to be part of the left leaning part of Ukraine. They've already said it. And so he wants that to be a part of, there's so much more to it than they're telling you. Okay. They never wanted to, like, you see Biden go out there and said, Kiev is still standing. They were never, ever taking Kiev. They were only taking.
They're just pawns. I mean, it's like United States is probably trying to say something, making statement like the Taiwan, like they could be like, if they give up Ukraine, then they know that China's okay to go. Like, so it's like they're just a pawn, I think, and a lot of people are dying. It's like complicated
for money.
Stuff.
It's
who can
all
understand it? I can't understand it.
It's the military-industrial complex. They're making millions and millions and millions from weapon sales, and they're sticking that in those politicians on the right and the left's pockets. Period. What do you think? Nancy Pelosi's worth $250 million out of the blue at $180,000 a year salary? Give me a fucking break. They talk about, they saw Trump's tax returns. They found nothing. Well, okay, let's see McConnell's fucking tax returns. Let's see Lindsey Graham's tax returns. Let's see fucking Adam Schiff's tax returns. Let's see fucking Schumer's tax returns. Let's see fucking all of Biden and his son's
tax returns. It's kind of amazing how many investigations. Trump's probably like skirts the, he's probably done some shady stuff. He's probably, New York City was a gangster, whatever.
Agree.
But they've done 10 different investigations.
They've done a million and they can't find anything.
If they would have found one illegal thing, they would have got him by now.
Of course. And see, that's why I don't think Biden can run again, because what was on that laptop, the corruption with China and the 10% to the big guy and all, that's going to come out if he runs again. You see, and that.
I never bought into that, because I thought that Biden or his son Hunter could have been pimping out I don't know. He could have just basically trying to get money without his
they got pretty good proof on there. I mean, if you ever watched the Bobolinsky interview with Tucker, I mean, it's pretty unbelievable what they have on there. But that's why I don't believe he could ever run again. And I still believe he's not going to run. And if he runs, I lose 40,000. So anyways, I got more calls.
All right.
I appreciate the call and have a great weekend.
All right, later.
Peace. Yeah, this is a poker show. What do you want to call in? 702-329-0480. We talk poker. We talk politics. We talk sports. What do you want to talk about, Kim?
Hello?
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. Is Mike.
Hey, Mike. Hey, San Antonio. How's it going, buddy?
Let's go, my man. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Hey, I'm going to switch gears on for a minute.
Sure.
Can we talk a little bit about poker, if that's all right?
Sure, absolutely.
Hey, man, I just want to let you know, first off, I love your show, dude, and thanks for answering my phone call.
You're very welcome.
And then second of all, I wanted to talk about two events that happened to you in your career. Do you remember the fight you and Khan used to have on high stakes poker?
Yeah.
Do you remember those days?
Yeah, when he broke my glasses?
Yes. There you go.
Yeah. It's funny. He broke my glasses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he broke my glasses, he threw $200 over to me. It was
okay.
Yeah,
it was that part.
Yeah, it was never Sean and me are good friends, man. He's a good guy. He got in a little bit of legal problems recently, but hopefully he's gonna not have to do any problems with it.
Cool. Because we didn't really see much about what happened, what the after effect was. Because I never heard that $200 story or anything like that.
I mean, there's a lot of people there's a lot of they'll always talk about Phil fucking bluffing me with 7 deuce, right? But the truth of the matter is. See, and I brought that up to Phil the other day, because Phil was I was the second biggest winner on high stakes poker, and Phil was one of the bigger losers, and people want to bring I told Phil that day, I only had one buy-in, and I wanted to make sure I was on the TV for a while, and so Phil knew I only had one buy-in, so he put me to the test, and I knew he had 7 deuce or 3 queens. It was one of the two, and I didn't want to go broke early in the show. I ended up winning 176,000 that session, and Phil ended up losing 180. So they don't talk about that. They only talk about that he bluffed me with 7 deuce. So there's always another side to that story. So
okay. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you answered that, because I've had a few questions about that. And last time I talked to you, I think it was about a month ago, you had told me a few things. You had actually cleared up the story between you and Scotty Wynn, how you had that dream where you helped him out and he won the main event. I remember last time we had talked about that. Now, I was going to ask you, and forgive me for, I hope it's not a low blow question, but you remember the 2004 the main event between you and Greg Raymer, correct?
Yeah. What about?
That's always been one of those videos I've always seen. You read it, you knew where you're at, and then Greg just got lucky.
Yeah, well, that was truly, I think, to me, is the best call of my life, because I knew he had ace jack. And you heard me say out loud, I know you got ace jack. Yep. I just didn't want to be wrong, and I didn't want to make the mistake I did again when I gave the World Series away in 2001 to Carlos. And so, I made this big call, and I was going to take the pot from him. I told myself if an ace or a jack didn't come. And then I flopped a pair, and I just didn't even think about the diamonds. I just thought he had ace jack. And as soon as I saw his hand, I felt I was really worried. I was first in chips, and he was third in chips when that hand happened. Mm-hmm. So I hold that hand. I win the World Series in 2004, not him.
Yeah, you would have been the main event champion for sure.
100%. And also, only one person knew that I was going to jail in 3 months. So that's why when I got knocked. That's why when I got knocked out, I was so emotional. Because, it would have been easy to go to jail with $2 million in your pocket. You know what I mean? it'd have been the easiest 6 months of my life. You know?
A lot of commissary.
But exactly. But going to jail broke would have been would have been a nightmare. So that's why I was so emotional about that. So.
Do you remember, like, afterwards, like, did you take a break from playing poker, or was it something like, hey, like?
No, I went right. I
I
went right to Aruba, and finished third. And I got it all in with top pair versus second pair against Eric. What's
Lindgren?
No.
No.
The guy. What's the guy with the shark? What's his name with the shark? His brother. I got it all in against that guy, and then he hit a 2-pair on the turn, or I would have been head up with Lane, and I'd have had the chip lead head up with Lane, and who knows what would have happened. And then Lane ends up getting it all in against deuces, and the guy flopped a set, and Lane got second, I got third, and so I got third for $250,000, but like first was $1 million, and I was going to jail in like 2 weeks after that. And so, and then I went from there right over to the U.S. Poker Open at the Taj Mahal, and then I went to jail like 2 weeks later. So, there was a lot involved with that too. If I would have, I've talked about it in my book. If I would have gave that money I won to Full Tilt, I would have made another like $2 million a year for like 6 years, But instead, I gambled it away betting sports in jail. So, yeah, a lot of crazy shit happened.
Go ahead. Mike, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and I'm going to say, I'll wrap it up. This is my last question. On High Stakes Poker, the host came out and played against y'all, and it was Kings versus, he had Kings, and then you had, I forget what you had, but he kept talking and talking. Do you remember that one in particular? They show that one on replays a lot as well.
Versus Maury? Was it versus Maury?
Yeah.
I don't remember the hand. I'll have to look it up.
It was it was on High Stakes Poker. It was when the host, like Danny Negreanu.
I'm sure I won because I won so much at High Stakes Poker, so I don't know.
Okay. So they edited a lot of that stuff out.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that I was like the second biggest winner on High Stakes Poker, and behind Tom Dwan. So
there you go. Well, hey, Mike, I wish you the best of luck, man. I hope
Thanks,
your
man.
year's going good, man. I hope you're staying healthy.
Things are good.
I love your videos. I love your shows, man. Shout out. My documentary is gonna be coming out soon. I talked to the producer of it yesterday, and it's gonna be pretty amazing. So I'll be giving you guys an update on that, and we're gonna do some funny videos before this year's World Series too on the YouTube channel. So. Well, hey, Mike, keep up the good work, man. We love you, dude. Shout out from San Antonio. Keep up all the good stuff, man. We'll talk to you soon. All right, Mike?
All right. Take care.
Have a great week. Bye-bye.
You too. Later. All right. 7:02. We have another call? Yeah, we got a couple more. All right. Let's go.
Mikey.
What's up? Welcome to the Mouthpiece. What's going on?
Dude, what is going on? How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I was just wondering, how your game's been, like how you've been running, what games you've been playing.
I've been, I talked about it earlier. I played some big mix games for a couple weeks. I got crushed. No limit. I had about a 130K losing streak, and I've won that back pretty much. So I'm down about 160,000 for the last 2 months. But
oh God,
that's all on me. Everything's been.
You mean it's all on you?
It's all self-inflicted. I have not run bad. I have played bad.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Well, I ran bad in the mix game, but like the no limit, when I lost in the no limit, it was pretty much all self-inflicted, and so
you know what, and basically a good player, they know when it's it's self-inflicted.
Yeah, I mean, I played so good at Hustler Casino that when I got on the app, I got cocky, and you can't play. You could play fast, a lot faster when you see people and you're locked in, and when you get on the app, it's tough to play fast. It's just I played a little too fast. I didn't protect my playing deep, and I got stacked a lot.
The app, so you're playing online now.
I mean, there was in 1 week I won my two biggest pots I ever won in 3 years. I won a 76K pot and a 93K pot, and only won 6K and only won 6K for the week. So
online.
Yeah, in a private game I play in. So it's like.
Last time I talked to you, you said that you weren't doing a lot of that.
Oh, I've been playing this private game for 3 years. That's all I do, pretty much. And
your private game that you had?
No. I just play in a private game with just a lot of people.
Oh, you mean a private, like not online?
Yeah, it's a private online game with the same people we play with every day.
Oh.
No. And everybody in the group are really.
Who are those? You can't.
I can't talk about. I can't talk about who's in the game.
Yeah,
I can't.
But that's what we all want to hear, Mikey.
Yeah, I mean,
the private online fucking game with Mikey the Mouth that plays every single day.
I mean,
he does well with. So who are these people that you do well with?
Listen. Most of them are just,
in a vague way.
No, I mean they're all good people. I mean you've seen a lot of them on the Hustler Casino live shows. Play with a lot of those people, and I play with a lot of good people. Just a lot of really good people.
Does one of them have a lot of tattoos?
No, do not play with that guy. Do not play with that guy.
No. Oh, no. Okay.
But
how about that handsome Jew?
I play with him.
You play with that guy, that handsome Jew?
I play, possibly. But
listen. Do you do well against him?
We go. Listen, I go up and down. I play with. I can't really talk about who I play with, but I play with good people. You know what I'm saying? I play with people that you play with. You win, you lose. When you're winning, you can needle people. When they're beating me, they throw the needles at me, and we have fun. Sure. And the game is fun. And the poker world, I know people don't want to hear this. I want to say this, but people don't want to hear this. Okay. But the poker world is pretty scummy, okay? There's a lot of good people in poker, okay? But when you're playing live and fighting people for a seat and everybody's trying to undercut everybody to get a seat, it's kind of scummy. When you're able to play with good people every day and enjoy yourself playing poker, it makes the game fun, and the game is supposed to be fun. And so,
of course,
win
or
lose.
Yeah, I'm gonna liken this. Can I just interject here for a second? Like I own a little golf shop in Sarasota called Pinecraft Golf Shop. I'm sorry, shameless plug. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with golf. Mm-hmm. You
don't want to play with a bunch of hustlers. You want to play with good people.
You want to play with a bunch of people that you like, that you've grown accustomed to, that you can trust, and these people. It doesn't matter. Like it almost doesn't matter what golf course you play at, and it's the same thing I think with poker.
Yeah,
it's the people. It's the people around you that make it enjoyable.
Listen,
those people you can trust and you have like a camaraderie with.
Correct.
And you just, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So the whole, I'll give you an idea. Like the whole group.
And that's what you have, right?
Yeah, the whole group. There was like 23 of us that are in the group. They all came for Super Bowl weekend, and we all played live at the Aria, and we had a great dinner together, and it was just great camaraderie, and it's when you're in a group of people that, I mean, I could truly say, honestly, I love everybody in there. Like, love them as, like, I really do. Like, I care for them deeply, like I would family. And so when you're playing with people that, if you win, you win. If you lose, you just, I mean, it's fun,
Yeah.
Listen, when I'm
I know what you
losing,
mean. I know
there's
what you mean.
no. I
It's not
get
like a-
when I'm losing, the needles are nonstop. Okay, and it's okay. I get it. It's fun. When I'm winning, the needles are nonstop, and you people have a breaking point. If somebody's stuck 50,000, you're not going to keep needling them. If it's somebody that's that.
But who's the guy? Who's the guy in that show you keep mentioning that's like the big mouth that just? I think he's a casino owner that just mouths.
Eric
everybody.
Person? No, he don't play with
Yeah,
us.
that's got to be him. Yeah.
he
He's kind of a little big man syndrome.
He's a nice guy. I talked about him earlier. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things.
Oh, really?
Listen, I have
Okay.
I have friends that play with him, and they say he's a nice guy. I don't know. I've never met him.
He seems like the kind of guy that like people don't want to like say anything bad about because he's like he's like a.
I have friends
at the table.
Listen, I have friends that
different, but I bet he's like that at the business negotiating table too.
I have friends that play with him, and they say he's the nicest guy. So listen, I've never met him, so I won't say anything bad about somebody I've never met. And if some people that I respect a lot say he's a really nice guy, then who am I to say?
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
either.
just like basing my opinions on the like.
People want to talk about
what I've seen on.
I mean, people want to talk about the $2 million pot he lost, but he was drawing dead. I mean, can you imagine the biggest pot on televised poker history, and the guy was drawing dead? But what's funny about it, people want to say, "Oh, how stupid he is! He shoved." Well, if Patrick Antonius doesn't hit an ace on the turn, and he shoves for 800,000, can he call? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's it. If Patrick has 9s, 10s, jacks, queens, or kings, right? He just folds the turn when the ace hits. So, everybody wants to say, "Oh, what an idiot! He got his money in drawing dead." Well, they don't look. They look it because they can see the cards. Whatever. It is what it is. I have nothing to say unless I met him.
No, I don't either because I can see myself doing kind of the same thing, not at the same level, obviously, but at the same thing.
Scott Seaver's a good friend of mine. He's been playing with him a lot, and he tells me he's a very nice guy. And Scott Seavers knows who's a nice guy and who's not. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
I wasn't trying to. Yeah.
No problem.
He's just kind of like one of those big names that's kind of coming up. So I just thought I'd drop that name. Yeah. Anyway, Mikey, it was
Thanks
great
for the
talking
call, man.
to you.
Have a great weekend.
And my name is Sarasota Joe. I was the hiccup guy from last time. I don't know if you remember him, but it's good to talk to you, brother.
You got it, my man. Take care. Later.
See you.
Bye. 702-329-0480. Phil doesn't hate him. Phil just doesn't like the fact that he talked him into buying deep, and Phil played bad. That's all.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to the Mouthpiece. What's going on, my man?
Yeah, I was going to ask a question about Mike about your whole totals. I'm looking on this. This guy gets a total of the all the high stake poker. It says you're 600,000, but Sean, but somebody else like Benjamin was 800,000. So are you way ahead of him, or is he ahead of you?
I was told that I was the second biggest winner, so I don't know.
It's kind of quibble. The winners were you, I mean, other than Dwan, who ran extremely hot.
Yeah.
Your VPIP was 35, and your pre-flop raise was like 14. Same with the Doyle was on that, and they won.
Doyle won like 400, I think.
But Dwan, he won. He played fewer hands.
So good.
His VPIP was 50%. His pre-flop raise was 39%. Yeah. So he ran like God.
He ran like God. You know what's funny is Tom Dwan's such a nice guy, right? When Tom Dwan was a lunatic, he ran so good, and like he'll look back, and now he's like 100 times a better player than he was back then. I mean, Tom's a great player, but back then he got away with a lot of stuff and he ran good. You look like when you 3-bet the 3-4 offsuit and you make 2 pair against aces every time, you look like a genius. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you 3-bet the deuce 5 and it comes ace deuce 9, you're up against ace king and you barrel and you hit a 5 on the river, you're just a genius, you know? But
I gotta say this too. I'm looking at this nerd stats, and I'm saying he's a nerd. He's a great nerd because he has all the stats. So our favorite Phil, he started off his first season. I think it was season 6. He didn't get there till late, right, or something like that. He almost lost $200,000 in season 6, but then somehow in even season 7, he was able to bring it back to only losing 29,000. So, you know, he did knit up. Or did something in this final.
Yeah, Hellmuth lost. But, you know, back then, like Phil even told me, like back then that he was pressed for money. He didn't really have much cash either. So he said it kind of made him not play so well.
How do you have not cash? Was he with all those, internet guys in
Well, you got to remember, like Phil lives in Palo Alto, and his bills are, you won't even believe how much a month his bills are.
He had that dorky online game. Remember, he had all that stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, he had the app and all that other things, and then he was like endorsing the.
They didn't pay shit. You know, the only place that paid him the only thing that paid him much money is.
Pay him?
Yeah, they paid him like $1 million a year, a couple million a year. You know, let's put it this way. I mean, if you're making $2 million a year and you live in California where they take 51% taxes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then your bills are $65,000 a month. I mean, how much cash do you have? There you go. You know.
So he was just cash poor. But I'm going to ask you a question here. Our friend or your favorite guy. Up there in the lodge in Austin, and they had this big thing this week where everybody's doing stuff, and I don't see the model working because it's too much overhead. I don't see how online streaming helps the people on the table when you're making $11 an hour.
What's funny is they invite all the people that they accused of cheating on the high stakes poker. It's like
exactly.
And so not Nick Airball, but DGAF called it out. He's like, talk shit about us and then copy us, and he's right. Like Doug just talked all the shit about Robbie Lou, talked all the shit about Airball, right? Oh, they're cheating. Oh, they're doing that. Oh, this, that. And then they invite him there. Why? Because it's all about click. Doug has always been about clicks, likes, and ratings.
I see this. Okay, because I was in Texas for a period of time, so I kind of know that the business models that are successful, right?
Well, so do I. I almost bought the club across the street, so I know everything. So yeah.
I think you're more blue collar. I don't think you're Austin. I think you're either more like San Antonio or Dallas.
I wanted Dallas.
DFW.
Yeah, I did. And listen, I basically had the place bought across the street, and Doug started bad mouthing me because he knew I was going to be running it, and for no reason whatsoever. I didn't even know I was even going to get involved with the place across the street, But it fell through because a lot of things happened that my instincts were screaming, "Get away!" And I did.
Well, there are 3 poker. I'll give you a hint. There's 3 things in San Antonio. I see you're like a blue collar guy in San Antonio. They'd love you. Like you guy from San Antonio called. So there's 3 really big poker rooms there. There's one called Rounders. There's one called the San Antonio Card House, and there's the San Antonio Palace, Poker Palace. Those are the 3 big ones there. They have. They didn't expand. I think they got like between 60 and 80 tables. Maybe one of them got a little bit around that. But they're the 3 big ones. So maybe. I see you more of like a San Antonio blue collar guy than like this hoity-toity go to Austin 6th Street, Doug Polk
listen,
with his greasy hair.
It's in Round Rock. It's 20 minutes outside of Austin. It's a really conservative area. It's like, it's like Trump country. It's like really conservative where a lot of older people, a lot of Christians.
Well, they got money
people.
Up there.
They got a lot of money.
I just don't see them like getting that overhead he has like the streaming thing.
He's got a big overhead. He's got a big overhead. He's really got a big overhead.
I just see him bankrupting his partners and moving on like he did with his crypto scheme. That's my opinion.
Listen,
okay?
I used to really like Doug, and we get along fine. I don't want to say nothing bad about Doug, but like he used Daniel to increase his fame. He talked so much bad stuff about Daniel. Then Daniel falls for the bullshit, lets him beat him out of 1.2 million. And then he talked all the shit about Robbie and all the shit about, Airball and then they're down there playing on his stream, and because it helps get likes and clicks, and that's all he cares about. And me, I'm a man of my integrity. I don't care what she says. Okay, if she didn't cheat on that stream, she fucking had the password and wrote the fucking tweet to herself that used the word wouldn't not. Now, if she says, okay, I did that, but I didn't cheat, okay, that's fine. But I know that fucking, there's no such thing as the two people involved, one person texting and one person in a private text using the word wouldn't not. I've never heard in 54 years of my life anybody use the words wouldn't not. So if she didn't cheat, she definitely got in touch with the guy and got the password to his Twitter and wrote the thing to herself. That's all.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, but she's just dumping money now on all these
I'm
live
watching.
She's a crappy poker
Of course
player.
she is. She's terrible.
She's a spewy guy. So I guess she has a rich husband. I don't know. She spent a lot for those.
I know she has a rich husband. She was fucking broke looking for a buy-in like the day before the
I don't know. I don't know her story. She's
think,
out there now.
I think somebody's putting her in this big games because of the. I don't know, but
because now she's an infamous. It's like the Three Amigos. She's more than famous. She's infamous.
Yeah,
she's infamous.
I don't know. Like even the fucking sevens yesterday. Like to check that flop and jam the turn. Yeah. I mean, that was really bad. I mean, it was it was kind of a tough call. It looks like she has ace.
What was the other one? Jack 4. She went all in with Jack 4.
I mean, then
something like that. Some bullshit hand.
And then she jammed it with a 7 deuce or something. I don't know. She's like, it's really weird what's going on there because like you see Brad Owen's always been a small limit player. Now he's playing really big on the stream and he
lost $80,000.
He's not playing well. It's like
is that his $80,000? That's what I'm saying. Is that his $80,000 house?
But I know
who's $80,000?
Well, I know that him and the other guy they all have a piece of the lodge. So I know he's making money there, but you could just see that Brad's uncomfortable. You could see he's not used to playing these stakes. You could see it. You could see it on his body language, like he's trying to make things happen. You could just see he's just not comfortable. Now, I'm not going to knock him because, listen, people want to knock people when they're down, but you could just see he's just not comfortable. So, listen, I don't watch streams. I watch like segments and shit of certain hands and that's it. I have no time to watch poker. Poker's the most boringest thing you'll ever, So.
Okay, so I have a theory. And my theory is that it goes along with your prediction. I think that Biden is not the president. He's secretly resigned already.
Did you see her the other day? She even called.
Yeah.
She said President Obama, right? Obama's pulling the fucking strings. Did you see
I don't know who's president. I don't know what's going on.
Did you see him when he was at the White House?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, when Biden was walking by himself.
Somebody better pay you your prop because he's not the president. Whatever prop bet you got, they got to do the
running the country.
Thing.
Obama's running the country.
Yeah, okay. Bro. I don't know. I think it's actually Xi Jinping running the country. I don't know if it's Obama.
It's Obama.
But
Obama let Crimea happen. So now he got so much shit for it, and that's why they're pushing this whole war. I mean, listen. The only thing is
the Ukraine. Remember the Ukraine was a punchline in the Seinfeld episode between Kramer and
I mean, Ukraine has been this shit's been going on for fucking 18, 20. I mean, they act like it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but listen, the thing is Joe doesn't have enough stamina left to even be the puppet. So I don't know who they're going to run. I mean, I don't believe that Mayor Pete has.
I don't think there's ever going to be another election. I don't think there's ever going to be another election. That's my opinion.
You don't think there'll be another?
You tell me I'm wrong.
What do you
I don't
mean
think
there
there's
won't
ever
be
going to be
another
another free election in this
there won't
country.
be a free election. No, they'll never let a Trump get in.
Yeah, so the elections are over. They kind of started getting over. They're just over.
Well, I
think it all started with
the Democrats. You could never run. You could never run for president as a Democrat.
I think it started with Bush. I think it started with Bush against what's his name, Frankenstein in 2000. Yeah. And it's ever since then we haven't had a legitimate election, but it's just gotten worse.
But listen, the Democrats have super delegates, so they already decide who their candidate was. That's why they all at the last second jump behind Biden, right? Everybody's like, what? What are they jumping behind Biden? The guy can't even put two sentences together because they do the focus groups, and they figured that he had the best chance to win. And I mean, I thought it was elder abuse, and I still think it is.
Yeah,
but
I just think Trump broke the algorum. He
won't
got
happen
elected.
again.
That's the last legitimate guy.
I mean,
and,
I'd like to see. I'd like to see Vivek in there, but people. I don't see it.
Wait a minute. You know about the murdering shit, right? The guy who got murdered 268 days ago.
Yeah.
They finally found the shotgun, and they say he was tied to a tree, but it's still suicide.
Incredible.
Like, come on.
The Clintons have killed so many people. It's a joke.
Almost a year later was like almost like a meter, like 10 meters away, and he was tied to a tree. But it's still ruled a suicide. The Clintons are still killing people.
I know.
And then you got Wong in the chat saying, Trump's a bad guy.
I know. Let me ask you this. Okay, Ghislaine Maxwell's in prison for 20 years. Where's the list? Where's the list of people that supposedly fucked all the underage people? Why is she rotting in jail? Where's the list?
Is she rotting in jail?
Well, she's in this like supposedly like Beverly Hills halfway house.
We saw artist rendering. I had a friend of mine who went to the actual trials.
Yeah.
In New York, and she never got a clear. She didn't believe it was the real Ghislaine, right? Because you couldn't have a camera.
I agree, Kirk. They do need to watch Jimmy Dore. I watched him. So, he's right.
I don't even know that was Ghislaine on trial. It could have been like a personal lookalike.
Right.
We don't know if that's even her.
Let's put it this way. The guy who the cop that's in jail for murdering George Floyd, they had to find him guilty no matter what, or there would have been war in the streets. I mean, they might have made a deal. He might be fucking under witness protection somewhere. We don't know.
I think that's the first big mistake Trump made, was that when all these riots started happening, he just didn't roll out the National Guard and suppress them.
Huge mistake.
That's it. Like, if there was a chance for there to be. Now there's not going to be any free elections. We got puppet. We're basically in a third world country.
Absolutely.
Unless you're like, and the only bastion of all I know is that all these people like Brandon Wong, California, Washington State, New York State, Illinois, even like Ohio, Pennsylvania. All these states and cities are in so much debt. It's ridiculous. Even after they got the COVID boondoggle with all the deaths and stuff, they're still in so much debt that I don't know what's really going to go on.
I don't know either.
But
I do believe I do believe that they all decide. Like, I believe Trump won for a reason. They wanted that, and I believe. I don't know. I think that they're going to make sure that DeSantis is president. And if he wins the nomination, he's going to win in a landslide, And but I really want Vivek. I want Vivek Ramaswamy in there. I love. His message.
I think they're kind of grooming for a long-term, like a conservative guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you checked out Vivek's Vivek
I'm talking like.
I really like him a lot.
In the next 30 years, look for that guy Branagh, that guy Schwarzenegger's bastard kid. Yeah. There's a reason why he hasn't taken Schwarzenegger's name.
Yeah, I know.
Right? He's going to keep that Latino name, and he's going to be running some kind of independent thing.
Well, listen,
he's the next.
It's all everything's decided. The world is run by about 10 different people, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Anyways, I got to take another call. It's good to have a good weekend.
Man,
good talking to you.
You're awesome. I love you just free flowing and you just talk your stuff. I love that. Never change, Mikey.
I won't, brother. Thank you. Yeah. So, listen, poker's great. I love the people I play with. Win or lose, I'm always in a good mood. When you play with good people, I don't know how to explain it, but it's made poker fun to me again. And when I was playing those mixed games, I was miserable. It's probably why I lost. When you're miserable and you're losing and people are hitting and running you all the time, it wasn't fun. And I made a mistake, and I'll learn from it, and I'll move forward. But anyways, 702-329-0480. We'll take another call before we go. Anybody wants to call? Life is good, man. Listen, I made some mistakes, and it's all good. I think if you guys want to make a bet on that fight tonight with Jake Paul, I think it's fucking fixed. I think Jake Paul's going to win because he's too big of a brand. He's just too big of a brand. And I think the line's like 130. I don't know. I'm not betting anything. I'm done. I got fucking cured by the Cincinnati Bengals. So, anyways, I'm gonna, be back next week, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna have a show every week. I apologize for a month off. 2 weeks wasn't my fault. Another 2 weeks, I was just losing. I was kind of depressed. It's kind of hard for me to get motivated to do a podcast. So, yeah, we'll probably will be in World War III before the elections. And that's probably how what they'll do is like martial law or something. I don't know, man. What's going on is so corrupt that it's really bad. And if you don't see it, then you're just stupid. So, anyways, we'll be back next Saturday or Friday for episode 106 of The Mouthpiece. I think I'm going to have a guest next week, and we're going to talk about poker, and hopefully my Lakers win 2 of the next 3 at least and get our asses into the playoffs. I love you all, left, right, center, poker, sports, whatever. Thanks for listening to The Mouthpiece. Have a great weekend. Take care.
The Mouthpiece.